Peace, love, and balance, everybody. Peace, love, and balance, y'all. It's your girl, Isha, the goddess of wisdom, also known as Goddess on the Rise, the Copper Queen, the Flower Hoodie Queen, bringing this sacred energy exchange to y'all. Y'all, I am up late. I actually rested all day. My body just, was tired, and I actually slept all day, so I'm well rested and I'm up late. I haven't done a late night message in a while. And y'all, I feel like I'm still channeling and downloading and upgrading from the new moon. I don't know if y'all been feeling the same thing, but I know for a fact that I'm still like getting all the bliss that I've been manifesting like right now. So so tonight I decided to do an oracle message. That means, tapping into the crystal ball energy to get a message out. And I'm not going to be using cards. It's going to be just a message straight straight from the astral realms, and the ancestors coming through and all that. So, but the topic tonight that I have been led to speak about was about occult leadership. Occult leadership, okay? As you know, if you do not know, I am a bruja, also known as a witch. I practice under Islam and moonology, pretty much. You know, the moon and the sun as well, and astrology. And I do believe in the dark arts. All right, I do believe in the light. Because I'm a light worker, but I also believe in the dark, which is as above, so below. We have to have balance in everything. So I practice gray magic. Okay, I believe in healing, and I also believe in hexing because we have to protect ourselves and defend ourselves, as well as love. Show love and grace to others. You know what I mean? So this is going to be about, yeah, if you do not know, I am starting a coven. It's called the Witches of Islam, okay? Because that's exactly what we're going to be practicing under Islam, universal law, astrology, that and look, cosmology. Those are the things that we need to get back to, the true spiritual work and groundwork of all of this and what it's about. And I'm going to go over a little history on occultism and leadership versus like churches and chapels and temples and all, and the history behind it all. I'm not gonna bet it in this. Look, I don't know everything in the world and every situation in the world. And honestly, y'all, every situation in the world has not been reported. Okay, so nobody knows. It's so much stuff that goes unreported and so much stuff that goes reported that we miss because it didn't reach our areas. Okay, I just posted about that today. It's still like the climb of the murdering of witches is going up in 2024 in countries. Okay, and just like sex trafficking has been going up and all that, and it's getting talked about, but that people don't get how close it is. Like we know sex trafficking is happening, but we're still not in a panic state the way we should be about how often and women and children are sex trafficked more than anybody else. Women and children, okay? And right now it seems like it's melanated children, okay? And I'm just keeping it real, y'all. This is, there's no hate, but melanated children have been getting sex trafficking. They talk about organ trafficking and all that because COVID was crazy and a lot of people are sick and dying. So organ trafficking went up, and it's really not safe, y'all, to be out there by yourselves. Like right now is the time that you need to have family around you that you know that you can trust, okay, that y'all move divinely together. And it doesn't have to be many. It could be one, it could be two, it could be three, okay? Less is plenty of. Let's just ring the bell. It doesn't have to be a big crowd. That's what we keep thinking. We got to have a big crowd. Most of the times when a big crowd is involved, that's when stuff go down, okay? Too many people involved, what they say, too many chiefs and not enough Indians kind of situation, okay? It falls apart when we get too large sometimes, not all the time. But this is a time that we need to be focused on healing and growth and stability and security. All right, and with growth in your mind, your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, your pineal gland, expanding knowledge, okay, being wiser, okay. So I'm going to get on, if you have never heard about this, about an occult leader by the name of Jim Jones. I'm gonna show you a picture of this guy. This is Jim Jones. This is an ancient story. Some of y'all may know it, some of y'all don't. So if you don't know about it, you about to hear it here first. And if you do know about it, that means you know what it is. And you're going to hear about it again to refresh your memory, okay? So this is the gentleman that started a church geared towards occultism with predominantly African American members. But he did have members of all cultures, okay? He did. So He started what we call the People's Temple of the Disciples of Christ, denominational brotherhood, Jim Jones pastor. This is the church. This is the church right here. I'm going to show y'all that. I'm going to be posting a lot of this stuff tomorrow. This, something told me to do this tonight, so I'm doing it tonight. So, it says right here, the story, I'm about to read y'all some text. The story of Jim Jones, the story of Jonestown begins with Jones, a white minister who preached unconventional socialist and progressive ideas to a predominantly African American congregation called the People's Temple. The People's Temple, too. And what do we say, us melanated people? We the people? The People's Temple. Okay? At the height of its popularity during the 1970s, the temple had a membership estimated in the thousands and was courted by local politicians in San Francisco, including Harvey Milk. But by 1977, Jones had grown paranoid from the media scrutiny over the temple's suspicious activities. So he and his numerous followers moved to an agricultural settlement, aka Jonestown, in Guyana, the remote country east of Venezuela. Okay, man. So look, and that is predominantly a melanated area, right? So he was getting already looked at, suspected by so many people because of this temple he created. People were suspicious of him or something. So, and let me read this next part again. Until the September 11th attacks, the tragedy in Jonestown on November the 18th, 1978 represented the largest number of American civilization casualties in a single non-natural event. Are you serious? So 9/11 obviously topped this situation. So the last time we had a tragedy like that was this man right here in Jonestown. All right? In Jonestown, next to 9/11. So it is unfathomable now as it was then that more than 900 Americans, members of a San Francisco-based religious group called the People's Temple, died after drinking poison at the urging of their leader, the Reverend Jim Jones, in a secluded South American jungle settlement. So he actually outcasted them. He outcasted them in the middle of the jungle. And let me talk about why he did that. There's only so much jurisdiction that the government has. So true statement, y'all. Governments were built in the beginning for protection and collaboration. The U.S. and America were actually a team at first, and over time stuff done fell apart. That's what did I say? Every time numbers grow big, we start falling apart. It's like we don't know how to stick together. But the U.S. corporation in the beginning was with us, was with the American Indians. You know what I'm saying? But we know we don't have to, we're not going into that deep story yet. There's so much stuff tied to that story on how we got divided that I'm going to reveal in this situation right here. So it got photographs taken after. Oh man, yeah, I'm glad y'all listening. If you didn't know about it, please pay attention. So it got photographs taken after the carnage forever document the sheer enormity of the event. The bodies of hundreds of people, including children, lying face down in the grass. Nearly 40 years later, the infamous and horrific event continues to fascinate us through numerous books, articles, and documentaries. So let me tell you about this. He had all these people trust him in a church that he created, secluded them in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the jungle, and because these men and women gave up their freedom and where they was from, whether they left San Francisco and joined him, the jurisdictions, like they couldn't touch it. Once you leave a certain, like the U.S., it's out of your touch. Like, I don't know if y'all remember a while back, this Baptist missionary went to this territory outside of India, and people told him not to go there. He claimed he wanted to take the Bible out there to help these people because they didn't. Oh my God, let's ring the bell on that. Stop trying to bring us a man-made tool to help us. So obviously these people on the coast of India, they were terrified of this man because they know history. And they have stayed outside of civilization for a reason. And I do not blame them. But they don't trust anybody. Like even me. Just because I'm melanated don't mean if I went over there and just started trying to be nosy off the coast and go to this coast off of India without any type of recognition from them, they would assassinate me too. That's how much they don't trust us. No, and they shouldn't. I don't blame them. Let them be. They ain't with the US. They free. They are civilized on the land like you're supposed to with no bills. The way it's supposed to be, y'all. So of course they trusted him. They was tired of bills. They was tired of society stuff. So they trusted this man and he betrayed them. He used to have drills. So that's another thing. They didn't even know this to this day. These people did not know they were gonna die. And I do feel like these people's souls have been trapped here because they died a tragic death. So he used to have drills all the time on in this secluded area where he would tell them, he would sound off an alarm and he would tell them to run to this area and drink from the cup. So they practiced this for a while before they actually did it in real time. When he did it, he trained them how to kill themselves without them knowing that they was going to eventually do this. Because the last time he did this drill and they drunk from that cup, they said it was some red thing, some red stuff that they, all them people drunk, they all died. Rest their souls, they all died that day. A lot of them drinking, and so what a drill? What kind of drill is that? That's the thing. What kind of drill do you have to drink from a cup? And at the end of it, anyway. And what do we do in church? Drink from this cup, the bread and the body, right? Y'all better stop drinking from cups in general. Okay, this is the message tonight, y'all. This is the message tonight. This is what I've been told. Now, let me tell y'all. So, look, this message is not to say, I know this man was a white man, but this does not mean, this is something I want y'all to say, because I'm glad I got a diverse following for a reason. Enemies come in all shades. Let me ring this bell, okay? Enemies come in all shades, baby. It does not matter what your ethnic background is. Enemies come in all shades. I promise you. We know the story of Fred Hampton. He got assassinated by a traitor in the pack, in the Panther. And as we know, the Black Panther Party had members that were Caucasian. So I'm like, we're not going to pretend like we ain't had enemies that look like us and stab us in the back. So stop thinking that everybody the same complexion as you or the same culture as you got your best interest at heart. Y'all need to start looking at people's actions and their souls, their lifestyle, their behaviors, patterns. Start looking closer than skin color. I promise you. Start looking closer than skin color. Just trust me on this, okay? So look, he didn't act alone. He did not act alone. It says right here, an African American preacher showed Jim Jones the way. So let me show you a picture of this man. Let me show you a picture of this man. Hold on, let me slide to it. This man right here, I'm going to give you his name in a minute. This is the man that Jim Jones was working with closely and reporting to, apparently, okay? So it says right here, it got looking to expand the reach of his organization. Jones frequently met with Father Divine, that was his man's name, a popular if controversial Black evangelist and founder of the Peace Mission movement. Born sometime in the early 1880s, Father Divine started a religious movement in the 1910s that drew huge numbers of worshipers who saw him as a god. It got, as described in Raven, a judge suddenly died shortly after handing down the preachers a prison sentence for being a public nuisance. Nuisance. So it said a judge suddenly died shortly after handing down the preacher a prison sentence for being a public nuisance. So it got, I hated to do it, divinely reported, responded. So did this man do some type of act to get this judge killed for sentencing him? Look at this man. I want y'all to see this picture again. Look at this man. I promise you, these are shells. What we're in, y'all. This is a shell. This is your avatar. The soul is a total different being that's inside. Okay? So look, it got Father Divine, who lived in an estate in Pennsylvania with his wife, Mother Divine, possessed the qualities that Jones mirrored for himself in the People's Temple. He had a multiracial congregation. So that's another thing. Same thing. He had a diverse following. He believed in racial equality and preached the abstinence of sex. After the death of Father Divine in 1965, Jones made an unsuccessful power grab for the Peace Mission organization during his visit to Divine's estate, even going so far as to claim that he was a reincarnation of the late preacher. So apparently he used to try to say he was Let's ring this bell, okay? Here we go with this stuff. This man was obviously some kind of dark magician. Okay, all occultists are not light workers. I want you to know that. He told people that he was the reincarnated Father Divine. Okay, so look, we don't even know what him, because I believe that it looks like we don't even know what him and Father Divine used to discuss too. Because as y'all know, remember Martin Luther King and Malcolm X used to have discussions too after a certain point when they both, everything was going crazy, stuff got in over their head, and they had no point but to come to each other because they was facing the same enemies at a certain point. Before both of them got assassinated, they was facing the same enemies for being so powerful. Okay, and being so, and being able to capture people the way they was doing, and they end up talking. So that doesn't necessarily mean that Father Divine gave him any kind of bad advice, but will we really know? Because he tried to say he was he said Divine to say, he said going so far as to claim he was the reincarnation of the late preacher. So the preacher passed away apparently. Okay, uh and they said because he got sentenced, okay, for this. So he passed away, and now this Jim Jones guy gonna try to say he was a reincarnation of the pastor that passed away. So he that's probably how he got people to follow him, because he was actually, they seen them together, so they was able to trust this man. They trusted him, not knowing that something could have happened before he passed away. How did that man just die, man? That's all I gotta say. He just died. Okay, so look, it got right here. Mother Divine responded by kicking him and his followers out, but not before Jones managed to poach a very small number of Peace Mission members to join him on the bus ride back to California, according to Redderman's book. Exactly. So she knew that something was a lie about that. The wife knew something wasn't right about Jim Jones. Her husband was dead. So she kicked him out, but he was still able to persuade members to come with him, and she couldn't stop that. Her husband is dead at this point. So that's what I'm saying. This pastor, Father Divine, can't even speak for himself. Maybe he didn't even know what this Jim Jones guy had truly planned, because he was being another image in the beginning, but it changed after this pastor died, because he got sentenced. He got a prison sentence for being publicly this powerful, and so that's what I'm saying. This, y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. This information is free information online. I will be posting it tomorrow, not tonight. This was a quick message, but this is just to tell y'all that we gotta watch who we trust in general. I promise you. Like, just and then I'm gonna tell you another thing. I feel like it's a lot of different people that are leaders out here or in leadership positions. You need to watch who you hang with and commune with, because you're being watched and followed. You see what I'm saying? You don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's following you. And you don't know who you're inspiring. And you see, since Jim Jones and Father Divine were working together at some point, and collaborating in some kind of way after he died, other people felt they could trust him, because he brought Jim Jones among his people. He brought Jim Jones among his people. So that's another thing. And I want to talk about this. Why every time, and this is for my this is for my melanated brothers and sisters, why every time somebody start up a temple, we just run to it instead of focusing on building temples for ourselves? This stuff, because these people left the church. They left when he died. Let me show you the picture of him again. When he died, this white man said he was the reincarnation of this man. Jim Jones said he was the reincarnation of this man. That's how he got people to follow him. Okay? And they felt inclined to trust him because he used to meet with him. We don't know if they had a falling out or anything before he died. He could have found who says he didn't get poisoned by Jim Jones. They ain't gonna talk about that. How he just suddenly died, and now all of a sudden I'm the reincarnation of this man. That's a bold thing to say, y'all. For you to say you're a reincarnation of another man that you used to be working closely with that died is pretty crazy to me. So he hung up under this pastor, it sounds like, to study his ways to later on lead his people astray. That's what I'm saying. Y'all, let me ring the bell on this, y'all. I wasn't even gonna talk about this tonight, but this literally was on my mind. Really, not all day because I've been resting, but out of nowhere it came on my mind, and I was researching more on this earth because I've been knowing about this story. So if you do not know, the Copper Queen is a criminal justice major. I got a master's in criminal justice, so a lot of these stories I learned in college. This was an actual assignment we had to go over in college. We had to study mass murderers. I had to study about Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and, the Zodiac Killer. I had to, and so I have naturally, been in this energy trying to figure out how did people just lose their way in life and do the darkest things, because I used to want to be a murder investigator, y'all. I'm ring the bell. Yep. I'm a criminal justice major, and I wanted to, I've always been in this heroic energy where I wanted to seek out truth and receive and give provide the justice that people need for these treacherous acts. That's really truly what it is about me. So I remember when I first joined like law enforcement and stuff like that, my family didn't understand. They didn't get like how could you go to law enforcement, because I in my mind I was doing the right thing, and I'm not saying anybody that's in law enforcement or any way are not doing the right thing, but we know the law enforcement systems here in America are corrupt in so many ways, and they not completely safe at all. There are good cops out there, but there's too many bad ones in it to just for it to be balanced out. You know what I'm saying? It's y'all know it's been corrupt. So of course I never stayed in law enforcement because I did deal with discrimination in there, and also I just don't feel like that type of environment is a good place for any woman. That's something that I learned, that being in law enforcement and that kind of society was not meant for me. It was too much stuff that I was up against. And so you think you're joining a team, but you really could be, you're outnumbered. Okay. You don't have no say so, especially as a melanated woman when I was in it. So I'm happy to be out of that now and doing things the way that I know spiritually things need to be done. Cause first of all, that's my thing. We don't need guns. This man is, this man, let me show y'all a picture of this man again. He killed everybody with mind control, spiritual manipulation, drilling them, training them, and got them to kill himself without laying one blow. Without laying one blow. What was this man teaching at this church? That's what I want to know. That's another thing. What is he teaching? Y'all, we know that Christianity has been used for a slave too. It even says in the Bible, ye shall not serve two masters. And then it talks about the Bible talk about so much stuff, y'all, but that was a track that actually, when I first found out about that story, I cried. I still do now, because where are those bodies? That's nothing. What did they do with all those bodies? They said it was over 1,000 bodies. What did they do with those bodies? That's another thing. Did them people get a proper burial? Did they families get to bury them? You know what I'm saying? All that. But that was a tragedy that we need to be careful about. So obviously I want y'all to be careful with whatever organizations y'all join, because I do know there's a lot of organizations going up. I know a lot of y'all don't follow this stuff, but I do, so that's why I'm reporting it. There's so many people like, that's what I'm talking about. All of them. I'm not talking about. So that's what I'm not attacking just the churches, because all churches haven't done this. You see what I'm saying? But we already know the history of the church is always a church, but we got to start being careful. Like, stop trying to get in such a large group and just find your people. You see what I'm saying? See, we keep trying to think we need to go big. And nah, you need to go, because you can't control these people. You think you can control these people? No, you can't. There's no amount of, you can. Now, obviously, it can be done. But think about how much manipulation and training he had to do it. What it took him, this man, to do all this to these people. And then he had help that, I don't think this pastor I don't think, because the pastor is gone. I don't think that pastor, Father Divine, really knew what Jim Jones had planned. I don't think so, because this happened after his passing. Probably in the beginning, he was like he said, he had a church that was a multiracial congregation, and he believed in racial equality. Okay, and he preached the absence of sex, and y'all know I do too. I tell y'all, we're not supposed to be having sex with everybody. We're not. It's actually, sex can be a weapon. It is weaponized a lot of times. The US weaponizes sex. How is this gonna be let me explain to y'all the master trick of this whole thing. This is supposed to be a biblical country, right? And even in the Pledge of Allegiance, we talk about biblical things, which I think they don't even make kids say the Pledge of Allegiance anymore in schools because so many children now have different religions. So we used to say the Pledge of Allegiance. This is a biblical country, but we got strippers, we got prostitution is legal, porn, the music videos that are owned by a lot of the corporations and stuff, and the Jews, as they say, promoting the most sexualized things heavily. And that gets more money than anything. Let's ring the bell, okay? What they say, sex sells. So sex sells in a biblical country. Explain the hypocrisy of that. Explain the hypocrisy of how sex sells in a biblical country. And we wonder why everybody's so crazy. We don't have any true divine principles. It's corrupt. It's so corrupt. It's fake. It's a lie. That's why I do not go to church. I got my own church. I am the temple. Your body's the temple. Your mind is the church. What you consume is the church. What you believe in is the church. And that's what he got these people to do, believe in him. So even when I talk about this stuff, I'm talking about myself too. I don't talk about anything that I'm not going to back up with my actions or follow myself, because I am an oracle. I'm a messenger, okay? I deliver messages and I listen to my own messages. So the bottom line is, y'all, be careful who you hang with. Be careful who you call friend. Be careful who you tell your business to. That's another thing. Stop telling your business to everybody. It's time to be more private and silent. And as I told you, isolation is your best bet. I know we can't be in isolation forever, but you have to breadcrumb people into your life. You have to breadcrumb them, because eventually they're going to show you their true colors. They always do. Eventually they're going to show you their true colors. And especially when they getting breadcrumb and there's some type of passive aggressive vampire that's egotistical, that's narcissistic, and they can't, no, them type of people, they're going to show their true colors sooner or later, because they can't, because their intentions are not true and divine. So they're going to do something corrupt, and that's when you make your escape, okay? So do not let nobody rush you into anything, okay? Not a relationship, not a collaboration, not a church, not a friendship, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. To go somewhere with them, nothing. If they don't want to take the time that you need to build the trust with them, what's the hurry? What's the hurry? Stop letting people rush you. That's a form of manipulation. People trying to rush you into a trust or some type of situation with them that you're not even able to like resonate with as of yet. I never did like that. Like, I'm being, I always thought it was weird when people think just because y'all hung out one time, oh, we're friends now. No, we not. We not friends. If friendships take a long time to build, y'all ain't even been through nothing yet. You friends, I feel like friendship it takes time. Just friendships should be treated just like a relationship. You wouldn't just date somebody, I would hope not, and be like, oh, we together now, and the next day they just out here messing around with you because you didn't build anything for them to truly really commit to you. You have to build with people. Let me tell y'all another thing. Have y'all ever heard the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Yeah. Sometimes, I know this sounds crazy, sometimes you have to get away from people that you consider friends to protect them too. People don't get that. That's an old school. Because you don't want nobody to get harmed, right? Then you got to get closer to the enemy, because you guys make sure you know what they plotting. And see, honestly, if you think about it, what happened to Fred Hampton? That's what happened. That man pretended to be Fred Hampton's friend, but he was an enemy. So he got close to Fred. He got all the secrets that was going on in the Black Panther Party and was reporting it to that police officer. And that man was a melanated man as well. They're out there. So that's what I'm saying. People sometimes want to get close to you because they want to know what you're doing, so they can know how to defeat you. Let's ring the bell, baby. Y'all heard it from the Copper Queen, all right? They coming to know how to defeat you, okay? But you better be taking notes too. I think that's what was, to me, based on what this was talking about, I personally feel like that's what was happening with Jim Jones and this Father Divine. I personally just don't, because that's why they said at the end his wife kicked that man out. She got upset. She kicked him out. She said, get out of here, but she couldn't stop some of the members from joining him. So that's another thing. Bobby Hemmett talks about that. We're not going to, and Noble Jew Ali talks about this. For my Islam brothers and sisters and my Bobby Hemmett followers, we are not going to be able to save everybody. It's the bottom line. I gave up on that a long time ago. I done cried about it. I broke my heart. I accepted that people think I'm crazy, and I'm like, whatever. But everybody is not going to be able to be saved. You're going to have to, it's going to be some people that you're going to have to leave alone for the rest of your life and never see again. Because if you don't, them the people that can get you harmed. That's all I'm going to say. Or lead you astray. Okay? So look, that was a quick late night message, y'all. This was the message that needed to be said. This was the message for it was a tonight message, but I just wanted y'all to understand that. And that's why my coven is going to be, it's something that you have to resonate with. If you fight me on anything and you disagree with anything, I will be like, no problem at all. And that's fine. I don't want nobody to do anything that they don't want to do. That's why if you contact me about this, I will be sending over information and things for you to read over, so you can ask me any questions you want. To all that. That's what I'm saying. This has to be, and that's another thing. We need to get back to having multiple leaderships in it. Of course, there's going to always be the main leader. But if you think about this, before I wrap this up, even at a church, it would be the preachers and the elders and the deacons. And I grew up like that, y'all. I grew up a Christian. That's why people be like, what happened? I never enjoyed Christianity. It never resonated with me. But yeah, just like in a church, the preacher needs help. He has his brethren helping him. And he also has the first lady that's leading the women. Okay. So we need to build things like that. One man can't do it all. One woman can't do it all. We need to so that's another thing. And then when it's time to make decisions, we have a vote from a bunch of people, and a lot of people have the right to make decisions, not just one person. That's how it is with the presidency. The president don't run everything. That's why he got politicians and governors and mayors and all this stuff. It's the same thing. We got to start paying attention to how they building their foundations against us. Using these techniques, having all their ducks in a row to make sure everybody stay under control. Let's ring the bell on that. That's all it is. It's the same system, different congregations. So we all have the choice to pick what we want to be doing. And I suggest y'all to stay at home. I suggest y'all to learn how to practice your own stuff. Like back in the day, it used to be husband and wife and children. And this is what we live by. If you contacted other people, which is what Yeshua Christ did and Mary and them did, and they started building off of things that they shared in common, there wasn't no beef with the tribes of Israel. That's why Yeshua got killed. They hated that he had so much unity in his group, except them Peters and them Judas. Man, oh my God. It's always a Peter and a Judah nearby. That's the only thing, y'all. We got to talk about that on a private level, about these Peters and these Judas. I don't want to, it's the stuff I want to talk about that I'm not talking about on this live. And that's the things that we could talk about once you join the coven, okay? I talk about what we need to be doing about these Peters and these Judas in our circles. That all it takes is one rat. All it takes is one traitor to send Jim Jones, one man killed over 900 people. One man. This is not fear mongering at all. This is facts, and you can look it up. And I'm posting it tomorrow anyway. So y'all, that was the message tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and just relax. I'm gonna finish the rest of my tea because now I've been asleep all day. So I'm probably about to be up. I might be reading a book myself, reading some more until I fall asleep. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening to this message. If you didn't get to listen to the whole message, go back and listen to it. Listen to the whole thing. I made it short so you want. I kept it straight to the point. What y'all need to know. And I'll be posting, if you follow me on Instagram at Goddess on the Rise, the Follow Hootie Queen, tomorrow more about it, as well as the article and my story and stuff, so y'all can go to it and read it for yourselves and do further research for yourself. Okay. So also, yeah, follow me on, like I said, Goddess on the Rise on Facebook and Instagram. That's the Follow Hootie Queen on Instagram for you to find me. Also follow me at the Copper Queen. And follow me on TikTok as Goddess on the Rise. And if y'all would like to get jewelry by me, you can do that at goddessontherise.life, y'all. That is goddessontherise.life. All right, get some jewelry. Jewelry is still 20% off using the code Juneteenth and Pride. Okay, I'm doing that both for Juneteenth because y'all know Freedom Day is on the 19th, as well as Pride Month. All right, celebrating both. So whatever you celebrate, get you 20% off and get you something. All right, and Father's Day is coming up too, y'all. I believe Father's Day is Sunday. Let me ring the bell for our fathers. Father Day is Sunday, so you can still use the 20% off for something for your father or your grandfather or uncle or brother that's a father, all that, y'all. You know, just putting that out there. And let's see what else. I think that's it, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all know if y'all want to donate to the channel, please do. I have Venmo, Zelle, Cash Out. All the information is all at the end of this video, y'all. So I appreciate y'all. I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great night. Peace, love, and balance. Copper Queen checking out.